God. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Phil. Joining me now, Democratic Congressman Ted Lieu of California. Congressman Lieu, as of right now, as I understand it, you have 214 co-sponsors for impeachment. Do you anticipate any Republicans will co-sponsor or vote for impeachment?
We certainly hope so. David Cicilline, Jamie Raskin, and I crafted this article of impeachment to be narrow and very straightforward. So we hope some Republicans will vote for it. And it's going to be very overwhelming in terms of American public support. We already know with a recent poll that over 56% of American public already support removing this president immediately.
House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer has assured members there will be heightened security for the impeachment vote on Wednesday. Are you confident about heightened security, given what we saw happen last week where, look, there are a lot of very brave rank-and-file Capitol Hill police officers, but that was obviously a massive law enforcement failure to protect you and your colleagues?
Yes, there will be extremely heightened federal security for the impeachment vote. I also want to note that last year, the Department of Homeland Security sent in forces over the objections of local authorities to protect Confederate statues and buildings. So where the heck were they protecting us on January 6th? So they have to be investigated as well.
Not every Republican is supportive of this. As you know, Republican Senator Marco Rubio of Florida blasted Democrats and Joe Biden this morning, saying talk of impeachment is ridiculous. Rubio said Democrats should be focused on unifying people. If most Republicans are not willing to consider punishing the president after last week, I'm also hearing people like Rubio say that all you're going to do is embolden Trump's already angry base.
Jake, he is absolutely wrong. January 6th happened without an impeachment. It happened because no one stood up to Donald Trump's big lie. No one stood up to what was happening in the right-wing media. And what resulted was that Donald Trump incited a mob that attacked the Capitol. They were looking to assassinate Speaker Pelosi. They were looking to hang Vice President Pence. They were hunting for lawmakers. And to just pretend this didn't happen is unacceptable. The only way we can unify our country is to hold all those accountable who engaged in this attack, including the man who incited it, Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, I know when you say no one stood up, I know you're talking about current Republican leadership, not people in the media or people who have been chased out, like Charlie Dent or Jeff Flake. Congresswoman Cori Bush says that she's going to introduce a resolution to expel House members who voted to overturn election results. That's more than 2/3, I think, of the Republican caucus in the House. Congressman Tom Malinowski has introduced a resolution to specifically censure Congressman Mo Brooks, who directly incited the crowd. What do you think is the appropriate response to your colleagues who were involved one way or another?
I support both Representatives Cori Bush and Tom Malinowski in their efforts. I also note that incitement to insurrection is a federal crime. So anyone who incites an insurrection should be investigated and prosecuted. No one is above the law, not the president and not members of Congress. So I hope federal prosecutors and FBI are looking at what some of these Republican members of Congress did to have January 6th happen.
Punchbowl News is reporting today that some Hill Democrats are planning to, quote, blackball Republicans that were involved in the efforts to either commit sedition vote by voting against the electoral votes or inciting the riot, refusing to co-sponsor bills with them, freezing out lobbyists connected to them. Is that appropriate, do you think?
So, again, I think there should be an investigation of what some members of Congress did. And depending on what they did, I believe if they incited an insurrection, they should be prosecuted. My general view is that, look, if I'm working, let's say, on an infrastructure bill, I welcome anyone who wants to support the infrastructure bill. So I'm not going to prevent members, regardless of what party they're in, from supporting or co-sponsoring good bills.
When you say an investigation, you mean by the House Ethics Committee? You mean by the FBI? Who are you talking about?
Well, both the House should investigate some of these Republican members, as well as federal law enforcement. Because, again,
Okay, you're breaking up, Congressman. Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. A new warning.